Joining us now, Tyler Smith from thehoosier.com. Indiana gets a win last night that was very improbable, not improbable from the start, because I actually remember turning to Todd early and just saying, I'm not going to be surprised if Indiana wins this game because Ohio State is terrible, as bad as Indiana's been. Ohio State's just awful. And then it wasn't very long. I turned back to him and I just said, yeah, forget about what I said. Because Indiana was just looking ungodly bad. And it's like there was a Bible verse. And then there was light. Things just changed. And it's what happened in the second half. Indiana's not a second half team. Statistics will show you they give up the ghost in the second half. But I think part of this is maybe now, even through some injuries, they're finding players that should probably be on the court at certain times. Anthony Leal is starting to earn the fact that maybe he should be on the court at the end of the game. The starting thing is non-athletes. That's not a bunch of non-athletes not looking at the big picture here. Now, has he earned the fact to probably be on the floor at the end of the game? Yeah, that's probably where that needs to happen. And that is an adjustment that Mike Woodson probably needs to make. But adjustments and Mike Woodson in the same sentence usually don't go together. But I think Anthony Leal, because of his basketball IQ, he knows there's nobody that knows what's going to go on and what needs to happen better than he does on that floor. He's the guy that should be the captain of that team.
Yeah.
And if he had been allowed to play it like this, his play would probably be better. But he's playing well. He didn't score a lot of points last night, but he scored three of the biggest of his IU career.
Yeah, he's been great the last couple wins, especially. And, the only thing that makes me wonder, how is that game-winning shot his only shot attempt in 25 minutes? I think there's a way to get him some more looks. Part of that's him being passive. But for anyone who says...
Well, he did go to the free throw line 3 times.
Yeah, but the only shot attempt was at 3, and
so all 3 of those trips to the free throw line were where he wasn't shooting.
Well, I actually can't remember, but if he's shooting, doesn't go against your field goal percentage,
right? But yeah. But
yeah, so that was pretty wild, and to think for the season, he's 10 for 15 from the field, so he's done a good job picking his spots when he's able to shoot. But yeah, I think not only has he earned more minutes, but he's earned some more looks, hopefully, in some of these other games, especially with the injury concerns, the depth concerns. He's really carving out a role at the right time. And, people in the media and other fans and alike are kind of looking for storylines that, something to watch, something to look forward to when it's been a struggle for quite a while. And he's the guy that right now is the story. He's given us something to talk about, something to write about, some inspired ball. And even if the rest of the season doesn't go well, like a lot of the season so far, at least something to watch there with Anthony. And it's been encouraging to watch him.
Yeah, and that's I expect to continue to see him in those minutes where that's one of the things that has been a problem for this team, as the bench, the production has just disappeared. Caleb Banks, he's in the witness protection program now. Sparks, he played a minute, just made an appearance. Anthony Walker played 7 quiet minutes. But Anthony Leal, 26 minutes off of the bench.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. It was those 6 guys, the starters and Anthony Leal.
Yep.
I like for what Indiana has right now, Gabe Cup's starting the game, running it, see how it goes, and bringing in Anthony Leal at, say, the end of the half and at the end of the game. Is probably something that will work out better for Indiana. It depends on the matchup, of course, but having Anthony Leal in the game. But also, you just mentioned something about having shots. The play that they ran that Anthony Leal hit the three-pointer on, it's like, okay, where has that been?
Yeah.
You opened up an entire right side, and Anthony Leal finds the corner. His man, is just kind of shading him because the ball was across the court, and Trey Galloway swings it around just far enough, and then starts to head down the right side of the lane. The defender gives up the corner guy, kicks it out for a wide open three, and he dusts it. But where has that been? That is the most open shot I can remember Indiana taking this year.
Yep. And for the season now, Leal is 6 for 10 from 3. So him and, Malik Renew, which I know you want Renew on the block. You want him making plays in the high post. But he's had a good three-point shot. Leal's had a good three-point shot. So for a team that struggles to even get good looks, wouldn't hurt them to run some more sets and some more offense that gets those guys open looks. They only had 1 3 in the first half. They hit 4 in the second. It's a team that when they're playing well, they don't need, as you've mentioned before, they don't need 10 or 12 threes, but they need to hit some of them. And in that second half,
as long as they're
4.
not giving up 12 or 15 threes, they're fine. Because I look at other box scores. There are plenty of teams that win games that are 3 of 15 or whatever from the 3-point line. But it's what you do defensively. You can't give up 12 or 15 3-point shots and expect to win a game.
Yeah, if their net from 3-point is, maybe like -6, -9, they can typically withstand that. But yeah, when it's 15, 21, 24 type point spreads and the 3-point difference, then that's where you got to be incredibly elite in other areas of the game. And that's when it gets really tough.
Absolutely. Now Indiana has, without question, the toughest challenge it will face this season, and that is a trip to Mackey, to West Lafayette and Mackey Arena for a crowd that wants blood. They want Indiana's head on a pike. Indiana came in to West Lafayette last year and did the unthinkable. After a 9-game losing streak, Indiana sweeps Purdue, beats them when they're a top 5 ranked team. And man, oh man, I guarantee you they haven't forgotten that. And if Indiana does not play maybe their best game of the season, this could get ugly.
Yeah, I hate to mention this, but I feel like there's a chance if Indiana plays their best game of the season, they still lose by double figures. I mean, that's how good Purdue is, especially at home. They're 11-0. You mentioned how the crowd is going to treat it like they don't want to just win. They've already blown out Indiana in Assembly Hall. I don't think, you mentioned them wanting blood. I don't think they'd be content with anything short of a 25, 30-point win. They just want to embarrass Indiana this year, and they have that opportunity because they're an elite team, and Mackey 11-0, as I said, it's going to be awfully tough. You just hope that Indiana has had enough momentum here where it seems like a game where they finally, in that second half, they finally showed some heart. And I know it's easy to say that when a team's losing, it's easy to say they come out flat or they look uninspired when they're not playing well. But I have questioned at times this year, how much they're together and how much they care about, fighting back. Hopefully that second half at Ohio State, much different team and different circumstance, but hopefully they can build off that a little bit and at least compete, because if they're not ready to go right from the tip, it's going to get ugly quickly.
It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat, but it's the man who can smile. Oh, I forgot the rest of it. All the while when his pants are too short in the seat. Great little reference to Caddyshack for those
Nice.
throwbacks. Indiana defensively held Ohio State to 2 of their last 11. Another critical part of last night. They give up 19 points to Gale, to 11 to Thornton, 19 more to Battle, who scored 10 of those at the free throw line on a 4 of 11 night. So they did a good job defensively on him. And that's with Ware in and out of foul trouble, or not in and out of. He was in it, period. And man, I cannot believe he didn't get hurt. I can still see that knee just make that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was like, oh God. I said, I could see it because there was a shot from directly behind it. But Indiana goes to Purdue. Here's the reason why I hate it for Indiana fans, because I am in total agreement with absolutely everything you just said. If they play their absolute best game that they have, they could probably still lose by double figures, because they do not have a perimeter game. They do not have a 3-point shooting game. There has been, moments where they've done it, but this is far from consistent. And Purdue has, I don't know, 5 guys that will come in that can shoot the 3, but your starters right off the bat with Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer and Lance Jones, buddy, you better be on those guys, because all 3 of them could be the guy that goes off and torches Indiana. And Indiana has had a penchant for getting torched by teams from the perimeter. And I guarantee you, Matt Painter is looking at that very thing.
Yeah, that'd be my biggest concern, is defensively. Even if Indiana comes out and, they're capable at times of, maybe the game from Galloway kind of bleeds over into the next one. Galloway looked like a guy that was like, all right, enough's enough. Like, let's go get a win. And I'll also say I wasn't at the Columbus game, but I was in Champaign, and Galloway was the one guy after the game who looked visibly distraught at the loss. They were so close to winning that one. Other guys were, upset, but Galloway looked like a senior who was like, we're giving away this opportunity in my senior year. So maybe it carries over and he plays well at Mackey again. He's had some good games against Purdue. But even if Indiana's offense does click and they're getting some inside-outside action, I just don't see how they're going to stop the machine that is Purdue on the offensive end. Edey and shooters, it's tough to guard. So it'll be tough, but we'll see what happens.